As quiet as it may seem for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 news, there are a lot of reasons to still be excited. We of course have the impending PlayStation Showcase rumored to come out at the end of this month, and more recently we learned of a brand new prequel comic from Marvel's Spider-Man 2 that will fill in the gaps between Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. I, for one, am very excited for the prequel comic series because I believe it will give us a good idea of things we can expect to see at the start of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Based on the synopsis for the comic, we have learned that MJ and Peter are back from their trip from Symkaria. MJ has finished her first book, and the sales are struggling a bit, which leads to her going on the J. Jonah Jameson show to help promote it. As for Miles, he's having a little bit of a crisis. He sees all of his friends from Brooklyn's Visions Academy prepare for college and is feeling left out. He is starting to see that being Spider-Man can come with some negatives, as he isn't able to do all of the things a normal kid gets to experience because of the responsibility he feels as Spider-Man. An interesting nugget from all of this is the fact that Miles is indeed at school at Brooklyn, which would lead us to believe that he's no longer in Harlem, and pretty much reveals that Brooklyn could be a playable location on the map, which would be huge. As far as Peter goes, he's now living in Queens, in the house he grew up in. It turns out Aunt May had mortgaged the house just to keep fees running during the events of Marvel's Spider-Man, and Peter is now drowning in bills. Peter is now left with the responsibility of finding a new job to pay for the bills, which leads us to the speculation that Peter could potentially get a job teaching as teased in Spider-Man Miles Morales. It then goes on to say that MJ would make a perfect housemate to help out with the mortgage, but she needs to stay in the city for her job as an associate editor at the Daily Bugle. At least, that's what she tells Peter. There is an unspoken tension between them as they struggle to take the next step in their relationship. On top of all of that, there's a new gang in town, and they appear to be using magic. Our heroes work together to track down and confront members of this gang, using their superpowers to uncover the gang's leader, the Hood. This new supervillain appears to have supernatural abilities that defy mere webs and fists. While Miles, Peter, and MJ attempt to balance their responsibilities to the city and each other, they keep coming back to one of the main themes of this action-packed issue: is magic real? So there's a ton to look into with this new comic. Miles is in Brooklyn and Peter is in Queens, which is great news for those of us who wanted those locations to be playable in the next game. The story is bringing Peter and Miles back to their roots, which I really like. Peter and MJ seem to be going through a what are we now stage of their relationship, which I kind of find surprising. I thought that they would have progressed past that by now. As far as the villain goes, we have the Hood, which is a villain that has ties to dark magic and Dormammu and things like that. I would not be surprised at all if the Hood is the first villain that we face in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. It just seems like this comic could do a great job of setting that up for the game. I would like to see it as a one and done villain just to open up the game and get us started with a large action set piece that kind of gets us through the tutorial of the game. All in all, I'm really excited to keep up with this series and see what Peter and Miles are up to before Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I know that the comics aren't always 100% in line with the story of the games, but I feel like they're going to do their best to be as close to accurate as possible. But let me know what you guys think about all of this information from the comic series, and are you going to be keeping up with it in between now and Marvel Spider-Man 2's release on the PS5. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with all of my other Marvel Spider-Man 2 videos, and if you really want to show some support, please leave a like on the video. But that's going to be it for me on this one. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will catch you on the next video.